Hey everybody, so I got some hot new freaking content. Here we go. This is going to be teams that I want to beat most ranked in 2023 season for Georgia Tech. And the first thing off, if you'll notice, is that I have this ranked 0 through 11, and if you've seen this series of videos that I've done before, you'll know that, of course, every year the team I want to beat most is always Georgia. And I think it would just be lame for me to count down all the way, to one, and it would just be Georgia every year. Obviously, any given year, I would pick them to beat. That would be my number one team every year. So I just put them at 0 every year, and go ahead and count up from 11 from there. So it gives the video a little more suspense. This is, of course, the sister video to my teams that we need to beat the most, that I also do every off season, but this one, is just based on my emotions and what I would prefer, that we win, in this order, just kind of based on my emotions. So, how about we come in at number 11? I've got Boston College. A lot of these teams here at the bottom are kind of interchangeable. We do play a lot of teams that I don't really care to beat or, care about a rivalry at all, because the ACC has got rid of divisions this year, of course, so no more Coastal Division. Those teams that I've gotten used to playing and got good rivalries with and enjoyed playing every year, now we don't get to. So that's its own thing. Of course, I hate that we got rid of divisions. So now I got to play teams like freaking Boston College and might as well spoil it, Syracuse. Now that we got to play teams like those, it's just irritating to me. Like, have no history with these teams whatsoever. Don't care at all that we're playing them. And I just, I've got them down low because, these two are honestly interchangeable. These two teams, the last time we played them, both have beat us. So it's not even like, I'd like to get them both back for that. So it's not even like that. Just these two teams are completely interchangeable. I really don't care. Boston, well, maybe I should have moved Boston College because I just remember that we were actually playing them on my birthday. So maybe a nice birthday present would be a win over them. So maybe I should have moved them up later, but we're too deep in now. Okay. Excuse my cough, please. I've been sick. I always get sick right before this football season for some reason. Must be because I am having withdrawals, but that will be cured very soon as we start to play these games. Okay. Next is number 9. I have Wake Forest, yet another Atlantic team. I put these guys a little bit above the other two just because of how much absolute respect I have for Wake Forest and just how huge it would be and how stoked I would be to actually beat them, because every year I go on and on about how good of a coach I think Dave Clawson is. I think he's awesome, and a win over them would be really, really cool to me. Also, this is a back-to-back road stretch game, and I think it would be just really nice to not have back-to-back losses in these weeks and be able to go 1-1 with Wake Forest and Ole Miss. So a couple things going into that game that kind of edged out Syracuse and Boston College. Next is Bowling Green, simply up here. Just simply because, losing a group of 5 teams, not a freaking good, not a good time. Here, I might as well do South Carolina State too. Losing to FCS and group of 5 teams, not a freaking good time. When I first started doing the list, I put them last. I didn't really care because we don't have a rivalry with them. Obviously, who cares? But I do want to beat all FCS and group of 5 teams. So, that is sort of my reasoning for that. I don't really have any other reason besides just wanting to beat them, and it would be so embarrassing if we freaking lost to them. So, would really prefer if that didn't happen. Excuse me. So, On to next is going to be Virginia. We owe these freaking guys from last year. We're going into their house, so I'm looking forward to being able to take them down. Um, and I'm going to. I'm definitely wanting some revenge because last year they beat us on my birthday. It was horrible. It was a horrible freaking experience, and it was a miserable time. And we never should have lost to them. They kept us from going to a bowl, and of course, Jeff Sims went down against them, which derailed our season. For all those reasons, I'd like to get one over on Virginia. They've just had our number for the past few years. I'm frustrated. I'm ready to beat them. I think we will beat them too this year. I predicted us to, but I'm just frustrated with these guys and ready to get one over on them. Okay, now we're into the top five, and we're really getting into the meat of it. These are teams that I'm just foaming at the mouth. Basically, I'm salivating at the thought of chance of beating these freaking guys. Okay. Whereas, take it or leave it for the teams up until now. But these next guys, oh yeah, I'm all in. I would be absolutely over the moon if we beat any of these teams. It's coming in number 5, Clemson. They have this huge freaking 7 or 8 year winning streak on us. I'm so tired of the freaking Tigers. It's frustrating because I thought that we would have a chance to beat them this year, although they hired Garrett Riley. Now, if that doesn't pan out, we still will have a chance to beat them because for whatever reason, the past couple of years, we played them close, and I don't know, whatever it is, we kind of are able to be competitive with them. Although I happen to think, in my opinion, that the Garrett Riley hire is going to put Clemson kind of back on top of the college football world, and they're going to be too far out of reach for us to beat. Sure would be nice, though, because freaking tired of losing them. I would love to beat them and just get one over on them finally. I consider them a rival, and I'm so tired of losing them every year. And a win against Clemson, especially in Death Valley, which is where we play them this year, would just be an amazing treat. So I don't particularly hate them or anything. I just want to beat them. I'm just tired of losing to them for so many years, and we've had what gets me is the close games we've had against them, and I didn't realize how much I wanted to beat Clemson until that game in 2021 where we lost 14-8, and it came down to the last couple drives, and we were on the cusp of possibly pulling up the upset at their home. My heart was beating out of my chest, my stomach hurt, I was sweating, I was freaking I was scratching at my neck. I was like, oh my god, are we gonna actually freaking beat Clemson? If we were to actually beat them and pull it off, that would be so sweet. I would freaking lose my mind. So I got them at number 5. Next is Miami, which this is probably the lowest Miami has appeared on this list. Usually they are number 2 or 1 because I really, really hate Miami. Although some extenuating circumstances this offseason have a few select teams have pissed me off enough to where Miami has kind of fallen to the wayside, and for whatever reason, Miami fans have been quiet this offseason, so haven't really had a lot of chance to go, back and forth with them. A lot of what I base this list on is based off what happened the year before and what happens in the offseason and everything like that. Miami have been pretty quiet. I still hate them. It's just that these next 3 teams, well, 4 if you count Georgia, have definitely just done, way more to piss me off and make me want to beat them much more bad than freaking Miami. So I got them a little bit lower than usual. Still would absolutely love to beat Miami because I freaking hate them. But, these next three are special this year, okay? Now, I had a really, really tough time deciding these next 3, and if you ask me to do this list again tomorrow, I might rearrange them in a different order. It's just really really tough to express how much I want to beat these next 3 teams on this list. Okay, we're gonna start out with Ole Miss. Now, I got them this low because it's not likely, that we beat them. They're considered a much better team than us, much more talented, higher ranked. They have the home field advantage this year. Their coach has been there much longer. I'm sorry about the cough. Their coach, but they have been seriously pissing me off, okay? Lane Kiffin comes in here last year, and he has a smart freaking attitude, and he thinks he's so cool and cocky, and his whole freaking spiel is very cute, and I don't know, it just really pisses me off. It's funny and cute when it's not your team, but, when it turns onto your team and he starts making stupid little remarks about your team, it really gets under your skin, okay? I think Ole Miss was actually last on my list last year, so they have made a huge jump. They have been seriously pissing me off. Not only is Lane Kiffin a freaking smartass and really annoying, he keeps tampering with our players. Yes, he is tampering with our players. He keeps, stealing them, basically, offering them more money to come play for Ole Miss, and it's really, really frustrating. I mean, he just keeps taking our players, and it's driving me crazy, and I'm just very frustrated with it. I'd love to beat them, and of course, the 42-0 beating really stings too. Really hurts your pride. You love to see, in the second leg of the home and home against them, you'd love to see us go in there and kind of take them down and not lose both of the freaking legs of the home and home, especially since we had the 42-0 loss, which was super embarrassing. So I got Ole Miss up there. So tired of them stealing our freaking players. They really piss me off, and I would love to freaking get one over on them and wipe that stupid smirk off of Lane Kiffin's face. Okay, next. Now, I mean, these guys really should have been number one, but I'll tell you why they're number two in a minute. Louisville is one of these teams. I was actually pissed that we got announced that we were going to be playing them every year because I just don't see them as a rival. Obviously, they were an Atlantic team. Like, who really cares if we freaking play them every year? We have to play them and Wake Forest every year now. No prior rivalries whatsoever, and don't really care about playing them any year at all. It pissed me off that we have to play them. However, I'm actually warming up to it because turns out these people, their fans, are freaking idiots, okay? I've had to listen to Louisville fans all offseason, and also not only their fans, but the national media as a whole overrate this team to an absurd degree. It is absolutely insane, okay? Absolutely insane that people think that they're going to go over 8.5 wins. Are you kidding me? People, I don't know anybody that I've seen take the under on Louisville. They're not going to be that good in year one. And they think, their fans are so stupid and smug and think that they think that they're all that, and they think, they're just going to blow us out. They don't know the first thing about Georgia Tech, and they think that this game against us is going to be some kind of easy win, some kind of blowout. I saw a post on Twitter the other day that was like, hey, Louisville fans, drop your score predictions for the Georgia Tech games. I think we're going to win 41-17. What a joke. These people don't know the first freaking thing about Georgia Tech. Think that they're going to come up and, just whoop us and blow us out. It's not going to happen. I don't know where these people get this idea that they're going to be so amazing in year one under Jeff Brom with a team entirely made of transfer portal players. It's not going to happen. They're not hitting the over. They should be just trying to make a bowl or 7 wins or something, okay? This fan base has been super, super annoying, which actually is good for the rivalry. I mean, they do annoy me, but, being in that we are going to have to play them every year, I'd rather they be annoying so that I look forward to beating them every year. Because look at this. I was mad at first that we had to play them. Now they're number 2 on my list, okay? So I actually am like very much anticipating our game against them. I can't wait to freaking take them down. It's going to be so sweet. I would love nothing more than to do that. And really, they should be the number one team here. If it wasn't for North Carolina, okay. Now, I made no secret about, I really don't like North Carolina, and I might hate some more teams more than them, of course. And a lot of the times I'll base my picks off of like if they've beaten us, in the past years, and I want to get revenge on them or something. Then I'll rank them higher. But North Carolina, actually, we have owned them for the past 2 years, and they should not have, lost to us under any circumstances. And they just suck so bad that they freaking do anyway. So the reason that North Carolina is number one is simply because I have a bet with Luke Walker, who is my son. My son, Luke Walker, North Carolina fan, on the ACC show every week over on the Pigs Compete channel. Be sure to check it out. My son, he thinks that he can step up to his father like that, and thinks that they're gonna break this losing streak that they have to Georgia Tech. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Georgia Tech absolutely owns North Carolina, and we're going to blow them out this year. But for some reason he thinks they can beat us, so we went ahead and placed a friendly wager on the Georgia Tech and North Carolina game, and the loser of this game has to eat actual crow. Not, come on there and say, oh, I was wrong, blah, 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 your better team won. No. We have to eat the bird crow. So, if it's, if it's up to me, I sure would love to beat Louisville, but I'd rather not eat crow. So, that's going to put them up to number one. Although, still, I would have Georgia ranked ahead of them because I would happily eat crow if it meant that we could get a win over Georgia. But I'm constantly arguing with Luke Skywalker. So funny that he's freaking named that. Like, Luke, I am your father. So I'm definitely going to be, not eating crow this year. It's going to be my son Luke that is eating crow. I'm going to be enjoying a nice blowout victory over North Carolina this year. But for that reason, pretty much that put him up to number one. If you wanted a non-influenced pick there, I would probably put Louisville at number one and maybe even Ole Miss above North Carolina in this situation. But thanks to Luke, he single-handedly has raised them to number one. So you get the victory for this year as the team that I want to beat the most, of course, besides Georgia. So let you guys let me know what you think. What teams would you like to be in order if you're a Tech fan? Do you care about all these Atlantic games? I sure don't. I couldn't be less excited about the right half of this list. It's all like boo-boo teams that I don't care about playing whatsoever, besides maybe Virginia. But other than that, I mean, obviously I want to beat all of these teams badly. But this is just the order that I've ranked them in. So, we're going to pretty much run through all of these and go 12-0. But let me know what you guys think. Go check it, so I'll see you guys next time.